Okay. Frankly... Oh.
There you go.
Alright, we good? Alrighty. Frankly, there's still a lot of gray areas.
Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area.
Me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate.
I believe in you, sis.
Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice.
Yes?
A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that.
You remind me a lot of Mia. There is one decisive difference between you and her.
That is?
You're not a defense attorney.
I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright.
First trial without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. Be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself.
Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way.
Braces are irritating my tongue, making it hard to speak properly. We have no, uwu voice.
We have Mike Meekins to...
No, are we not going to do a different character? Is it still going to continue being
Should
April?
Mike Meekins do it? Mike Meekins is the police, right? With me?
Yeah.
Okay. February 23rd, 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 9.
Oh my god.
Nice.
I can try taking you over to the church if you want.
Do the
Switch roles.
Are you sure? You feel okay? I don't mind doing both.
Is Mike... I don't think that's...
He doesn't show up yet. I don't think he shows up yet.
That's true. I'll give it a try for a moment.
Cool.
Alright. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor.
Edward. You're so cute. Been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial.
Hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else.
Very well, Mr. Wright, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please.
Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lots.
Wow. She's much more forceful in person. suddenly feel like confessing to everything.
However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness.
Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand.
Alpha Green?
Alright, Cindy, you're up. Haven't I seen you be somewhere?
Order caviar lunch, right?
Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before.
The judge is really wolfing it down.
My.
And for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl.
Thanks.
Will the witness state her name and profession?
And you, sir? Did you burn the fingerprints on your phone? What the heck?
Is that just rice?
And the sesame seeds.
It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please.
Well, Your Honor, how does it taste?
This is why everyone talks about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca.
Same.
Does look like it.
This pickled tapioca tastes like.
Name, profession, now.
Boy, I love it when he uses that voice.
Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't... Did I cut out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't just me. Okay, yeah.
You're still not making any noise.
Yeah, not hearing anything.
Cindy?
I'm not the only one with my problem.
Oh, her internet.
Internet problems.
I know how that
boy.
feels. I know how that feels.
Now.
It'd be like that.
She got banned from the internet.
I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth?
Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us.
Prosecution, oh wait! I'm not finished eating!
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is the middle of a trial.
Very well, Miss Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call the police to provide a description of the crime.
Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional.
What exactly does that mean?
Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective.
What? Miss Starr was a detective?
I know who you are! Papa?
Kava, Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see.
Very well. You may continue with your description, Miss Starr.
Who is this lady?
I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks.
I suppose that's because visitors from taking up prosecutor's spaces. Yes?
The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's truck. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot.
And who is this valiant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honor.
Witness, did you say... Yeah. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright.
Agree on principle, Your Honor.
Seems some poor losers are
Oh, he cut off again. Uh-oh, it's the Wi-Fi.
Oh.
It's funny, because right before that happened to her, it happened to me. I think it's contagious.
It's a curse.
It's so...
Whoa!
I heard Cindy like very briefly.
C'était vraiment l'une des meilleurs moments cérébrales de l'histoire de la Terre.
Don't speak French.
One of the top 5 brown moments in the history of the world.
Oh, croissant.
Yeah.
Oui, oui.
Et fromage.
Oh, let
Only.
Oh. Cindy's internet died.
Download
Plug in Cindy.
Oh,
Is your internet okay?
did I get out, or did
Yeah.
somebody come
Yep.
out?
You got
Your internet is dying. Or your Discord is dying. One of the 2.
right.
Oh,
Oh, you're lying?
am I back?
Yep.
Okay. Did you guys hear me say it?
No.
Oh,
No.
It was just, yeah, you cut off after unwilling.
Oh, okay. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining?
If you can, give them your worst, Miss Star.
Oh gosh.
Wait, are they talking about me?
Yes, you, Mr. Wright.
I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garage car.
Oh no.
The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into the detective's good man's chest.
Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching!
As you can see, there is no room for doubt.
key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed?
I'm still thinking about that.
It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright.
Just but a scratch.
Indeed.
It is but a scratch.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
Tell me more about this knife that they're carrying.
Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edward? It is your knife after all.
Yes, that's about right.
Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set.
You can't testify as to our ability to kill an egg. Me, a person?
Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor.
So, the defendant is holding a knife. What then?
Tell the court why you tried to stop this criminal. You did raise the knife to strike, no?
The defense has a point.
Fortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late.
Hey.
Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon.
It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it.
Heard that before. Anything else?
Tis a scratch. Scientifically speaking, the star's testimony is flawless.
Pretty fatal to me.
What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty?
Keep her head at school. Press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer.
Don't smile like that!
Garish car, you mean?
Edward's car, yes.
Mr. Edwards?
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edwards. Wasn't it?
Indeed, it was.
What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you're sure it was the defendant?
Her from no further than 30 feet away.
Who would ever suspect Edwards of murder?
I am certain it was her.
Why not me?
telling the truth. We're doomed.
Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. We're dealing with Edgeworth here. Oh, shoot, that's you, sorry.
Pretty good, I did the same thing, don't worry. We're dealing with Edwards here. I need something more substantial than that.
Did you just call Emma Maya? How dare you? Can you tell me what the suspect was doing when you saw her?
No, Maya is far better.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't make the rules.
Scientifically speaking, that's an opinion.
You sense something? So, you're saying you had some premonition of the murder?
Like, how would you say? Oh, yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin top full of seeds.
I have no idea what that means.
Speaking of a detective's intuition, isn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective?
Well, he was like a young cheese.
Young cheese?
A pale white cheese, not yet tangy, with experience on the streets. A greenhorn.
His eye must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match.
Okay, millennial.
Okay, boomer.
Sound like forensic cheese.
In any case, there, in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind.
I don't know who this man is, but he looks like cheese.
His boyfriend. He's the detective?
Boyfriend, the security guard.
That boyfriend? You have several?
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. What the heck? Oh my god. The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. Oh my god.
I'll stick with the lunches, thanks.
Note to self. The judge had to think before applying.
The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there.
Read the room's the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring the lunchboxes by car?
I'm a visitor now. I parked in B block.
So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime.
Hold on.
How do you know?
We respect prosecutors' basic aberrance of yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Methods will always lead to tragedy.
The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted.
Damn. You fucking got him.
Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that.
Miss Star, do you have something personal against prosecutors?
I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be retired.
Laid off? Fired?
To me, prosecutors are nothing more than words. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Very well. We may continue, Miss Star. I think this is when it changes.
Yes. In your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Go! You are a biased witness.
You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie.
Hold up. Huh? Rookie?
Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That's inspiring!
I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism?
I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed.
A photograph? You took this?
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snapped. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunch boxes is rigged with a camera.
That's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck.
Wait, why am I only seeing this photograph just now?
I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
The deed fake. Uh-oh. That unmistakably loud guy.
So, what was the defendant doing at the time?
Oh, whoopsie, sorry. Oops. Oh no, I was gonna present.
Well, not And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife.
Already said yes. I swear it on my finest salmon world lunch.
I'm sure that is a fine lunch.
That's odd. Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Why is Miss Sky not holding a knife?
Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Objection.
Whoa. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth.
Yet, it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright.
Trying so hard
Damn.
to be too right.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photograph was not taken the moments before the stabbing. This was taken the moments after the stabbing.
And how can you tell that?
Blood splatter. See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat?
Black and white photograph.
Yes. It's hard to tell. But this could be blood.
Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here.
That's not my line, by the way.
Oh, yeah, right. I thought it. Yeah.
You cut out.
Oh.
Wait, what?
What?
Huh?
Charles.
It's you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Except you.
Mr. Wright, are you just going to sit there and take that kind of abuse?
Ugh. You got a better idea?
Who likes it?
Bruh. Wait! That contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime.
It seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies.
It?
If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go.
Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice.
Bruh.
I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating, like a robot.
Cold in that photo.
Maybe she was a robot.
She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder.
Premeditated? How do you know?
Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph.
Oh! Are those gloves?
Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves.
Superimposition right there.
These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Murder, a serious offense.
Witness, please add this to your testimony. hallucination.
It was planned. The rubber gloves prove it.
Oh, shit, what?
Witness, do you know what this is?
Are you trying to test me? I sell boxed lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edwards' trunk.
Indeed, it is my knife.
What? This guy is... Not you wearing what, a red collar? No, belong to the prosecutor here. And... Why? The prosecutor's bad people.
Wait, what? There's a child?
The defense has a request. We ask that We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony.
Phoenix is gonna find you for which there's a small chat in the audience.
I'm very sorry.
Just profanity.
What's that, rookie?
In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder. And that's why she was wearing those special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate.
However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're gonna plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon.
Where's Killer's bar?
One time, my quartet mate forgot his entire violin to a concert when it was awful. Never seen such a mistake.
Order! Order! Order!
Great. Now the time is turning in our favor.
Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free.
This girl is that.
Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. Singini omae wa... I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned.
Bruh.
Not over such a trifling detail.
But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory.
Bah! The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need to prove. Nothing else.
Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now? But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing it?
I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Witness, please tell us only what you saw. not what you thought.
How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated.
Really, now?
I intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again.
The victim was summoned for the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound like a lot like premeditation. Doesn't it?
So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
Yes.
Pizza
You have to
Hut?
kill all of your delivery workers.
You're planning to out pizza the hut.
Bruh.
In any case, the defendant may now cross-examine the witness. That's strange. I thought there was only one stab wound.
True. I like how the blue badger is in evidence.
You say you stabbed him again and again. You couldn't have witnessed that.
Testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise.
Ew.
That's nasty.
I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
You were right! Eureka! Good show, Mr. Edward.
What a hug! He's my hero, really.
Me too.
We love you,
We
Edward!
love you, Edward. We stand. 10 out of 10.
Big Edward fan. What about my objection? No one noticed?
Well, witness.
You got the crime scene set, right?
Oh,
That was one of those.
thanks.
I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now, I realize that such mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood.
When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
She was just stabbing all the ketchup packets on his chest.
Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
Red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was.
Muffler?
Of course, the chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose.
Right. Miss Sky was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? Wait. Isn't it odd that you took that for splattered, or you mistook that for splattered blood?
Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib.
Such with a bit. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Yeah, they call themselves out.
I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest.
However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound.
Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony.
Mr. Wright, this is our chance!
As for what, I wonder? Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. It really set her off.
The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact.
I wonder. Wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick could burn longer.
Obviously, more scientific testing is required.
I love the spread of her writing in her notebook. It's so funny.
I think it's funny how Angel always misdirections with like offering her lunch boxes. I don't know what he was talking about. Here's the lunch box.
It's her shtick.
Her lunchbox that's only rice.
Also the
Objection!
fingerprint. That's me isn't even the shape of a fingerprint.
The witness is clearly not suited for detective work.
What?
The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you proved it yourself with this photograph.
But that can't be.
Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life.
Damn.
You are a bona fide clown.
Oh boy.
Harsh words. Good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails.
We stand. 10 out of 10.
Was my objection chopped liver?
What the y'all what you eat?
But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red, really.
Well now, where were we?
Also, I just sent an image in voice chat spam. That's just Edgeworth right now.
Oh.
The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business.
What?
Very well, witness. Your testimony. You saw the crime, apprehended the suspect. Tell us about it.
I do remember some things accurately, at least.
Ultimately, we couldn't take the most important part of your testimony.
most important part?
Part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be a moment of truth.
After murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition, off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
You're quite determined about the scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star.
Wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, cobra is a kind of snake.
Don't bother me with details, unless you want to get bit.
Oh? No thanks.
Note to self. Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites.
I think most people are weak against poisonous snake bites.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum.
Oil drum? Hard to imagine.
She's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Roar.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will.
So, where is this partition on the floor plan?
I'm sure she means this wall next to the car.
Right. There's a wall there. Like 6 feet high.
She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite the natural thing for a criminal to do.
Bruh.
And what did you do then?
What exactly did she say?
But exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word.
So, what you heard wasn't the suspects talking to you, but to someone else.
The chief prosecutor was talking on her phone.
Phone? Do you mean this cell phone? Discovered at the crime scene?
Well, yes, ultimately.
Ultimately?
My memory is like a salmon heading upstream, you see.
A hair flip.
No, the court doesn't see the star.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the cell phone hanging on the wall. Or the phone hanging on the wall.
the wall?
Right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall.
Wait, it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone.
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
So he says himself. Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing. Whatever happened to good testifying?
He said, of course, add this to your testimony.
Things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. I saw it all, how she tried the phone on the wall but had to use her cell instead.
Music.
Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
Aha! I was going to ask the same thing.
I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. Chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind a partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. During that time... Oh wait, no.
And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence.
Then, I boldly grabbed her arm. The chief prosecutor hung her up her cell phone, or phone.
Saw her doing this.
What is it, Mr. Wright?
Oh, whoopsies. Oh no.
No!
Oh shit. Here we go
Unskippable
again.
cutscenes.
How would she be able to see her doing the phone stuff?
Objection!
Oh, see, wrong statement, wrong statement! So sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Fortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Wright.
Be on the wrong side.
Yeah, you did on that statement, right?
I may not be looking at the transcript right now. It also really details what you do.
Oh,
I'm trying not to, but for the sake of time.
You say it quickly. Were you close to the suspect?
As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time.
Maybe I should press it for more detail. I'd like to see this on the floor plan, just to be safe. Lunchtime car was
She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block.
You witnessed the murder from here?
That would make it about 30 feet from the car. Yes.
Correct, Mr. Stark?
Yes, right.
But there was a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing! The cough-up queen, lunch lady athlete, indeed.
It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast.
9 feet high, too. No, how did Miss Sky not get away? Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky.
Objection! The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias.
Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago.
Well, Miss Star. Fatal contradiction of the testament. How do you explain this?
I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up.
Let's look at the floor plan. You said you witnessed this crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen this guy making that phone call.
Ouch.
Oh, son. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the backside of this partition. Indeed you were in B block. You couldn't have seen it.
Order! Order! What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, you remember. I'm talking up lunch. I'm talking up lies.
Tell him, Mr. Wright.
Objection! That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you'll allow me a question.
No.
Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court.
Can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about. He lied about what she saw. In other words, he didn't see this guy using that emergency phone.
It does seem hard to imagine how she could have. They're illogical.
When you might say it's scientific. Matter, Star. Cat got your lunchbox.
Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory. But why would Miss Star lie about like that? Why would she say that my sister had tried to use the phone but failed? It doesn't make any sense. Why lie about something so insignificant?
Uh-oh.
I mean, maybe she really did try to, see her try to use the emergency phone.
I see no room for doubts here.
You ordered the patui on rice, right?
Mr. Wright! And I thought you had something.
One more try.
I'll take that lunch, though.
I see it in your eyes. You haven't learned your lesson, have you? Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court.
There we go.
I tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it.
What, this is a lie? I see.
But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. What do you mean? Our witness declined on a different location.
Objection! A different location. Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one.
You call my lie pointless. At least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
Testimony. You've heard me tell now points in one direction. The only place where she could have been.
The security guard room?
Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone. But why there? There are many places where she could have seen the phone.
In this case, Your Honor, witness not being a part of the prosecutor's office, he was parking the A block. The only place where she could have seen a crime in the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said that a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard. Yeah. Well, Miss Starr,
20 years have I been getting the better of men. To think that tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Angel Star.
Order! Order! Witness!
I'm gay.
What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should have known better.
I am not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails.
Guilty? You talking about Miss Sky?
Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense.
I studied insults in the mic too.
She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything.
Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands.
It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edwards.
What?
The witness is found to be lying. They're guilty of perjury. You know,
They finally addressed it.
right? If that without a good reason.
So, tell us what your reason was, Mr. Wright.
Being cringe. Huh? Me?
Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
Ms. Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. She lied and said she saw it from the B block. Must make a fun difference. What? What would it change?
Angle, right? Because she saw it from a different side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think the angle. Well, the angle at which she saw the crime occurred would change.
The angle? What do you mean?
And so, the security guard station is on the second floor, and she could have this sort of more used to crime.
And this is important. Why?
Oh. You picked the wrong one.
Guess that wasn't it.
Perhaps you'd like to reconsider, Mr. Wright.
Damn. So I guess it's the distance?
The distance between her and the scene of the crime.
Objection! My condolences, Mr. Wright. But one look at the floor plans is quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see.
It's not the question here. How would it take to reach the scene of the crime? You witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long would it take to go from there to the scene of the crime? You arrest this guy.
Well, witness?
You.
Yes.
Or the squid wheels, right?
The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible.
This is how I rate my people. I was bringing a PB&J lunch and fresh boysenberry ham to my friend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend!
What is that? He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. Before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. So longer. That's why I had to go through the visitors parking in B block.
That's quite a detour.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes? This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
And even a like metal one or a wood one?
I've never actually seen a metal spork.
That has to be really rare. Actually, I think it's. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely!
Bribe.
Hurry!
Mr. Wright, you have to do something.
Evidence to stop this?
Objection!
5 minutes between the witnessing the murder and the arrest? Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time if you like it al dente.
That's true.
I've got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie.
A minute blank? Isn't it strange?
Strange.
You were a criminal. What did you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess let's flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone yet.
But you have the instincts of killing. You would run. This guy was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act such way. It's inconceivable. No true Scotsman.
Seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and the blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go.
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history.
We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright.
That was too close.
I'm afraid that the Cloth Queen has been dethroned. That court is adjourned.
Very epic. Fuck.
Edward, you ordered the squid wheels, right?
When she tried to foist off on me.
Where did you get all these? She has these all on hand.
I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers.
Damn.
Anything else to say?
Oh.
Also fresh. Hope.
I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Oh, you're just gonna lie again.
Just another one of her trick lunchboxes.
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Stark.
Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Triple decker!
Lunchboxes
Bribery!
Out of deference to the witness determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed.
You're gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time. Nice euphemism there.
Should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe, did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant's, Miss Lana Scott. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
What? There was blood found on that shoe?
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
You find myself using lunch and decisive evidence at the same time.
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence?
Well, as I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edward. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
You had blood tests performed.
Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics.
In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence.
What?
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
We're sure celebrating.
Oh, yes, Mr. Edward. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edward.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
So, Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen.
You could at least study some evidence, Flaw. Really?
Prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence. However, it seems you've got another count against you.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendants with blood test.
You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Well, speak up.
Blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood Wah. Wah.
That's just a figure of speech.
Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear.
That's pretty specific.
If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone's but Miss Lana's guys.
The suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe.
That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman.
I'm afraid he was gonna say that. Let this evidence go through without a fight.
You ordered the peppered fish guts, right?
No.
Wait, what? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like their climate freezing enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup.
She's not liking it right.
Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe?
Critical. You have a problem with the victim's shoe? I'm not imagining things. I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction.
That's gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Yeah.
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about this fiction? Show us the problem with the evidence.
She stepped on blood.
I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe.
Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe.
Indeed, there's quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe?
Oh, where's all the blood? Where did it
Oh.
go?
The shoes are a different color.
That's the victim's shoe, right?
Oh,
Oh.
wait, it is?
Is it? Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just said his shoe, so...
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's victim's shoe.
Yeah, I thought it was her shoe at first, too.
Oh. Is it the photo?
Problem lies in the footprint.
Footprints?
Note the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime?
Aha!
As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about the shoe.
Objection! This picture only shows parts of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints.
Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene. We found nothing of the sort.
Order! 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 Well, witness?
Great going, Mr. Wright. But it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint.
Oh. That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright, think.
Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions.
What?
Hold it! I see. Now I get it.
What?
Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. Knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leper woman. Roared.
It's pronounced Rower.
Rower? Okay.
I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do.
No kidding.
Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty?
Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though, apparently, you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the blood-box factor.
Ah, yes.
Witness. Well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum, kicked over by the chief prosecutor, was brimming with water.
Water? What do you mean?
Still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason?
Aha! You don't mean...
Yes. The suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her.
That ties up things quite nicely. The bloodstains left in the victim's shoe tied quite clearly to this murder. And after the deed was done, they knocked over the oil drum and erased the telltale signs.
Why, that's the prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence.
That reminds me. Mr. Smith's guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him?
So, that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe?
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please!
What? What can I do? My sister confessed to the crime, and she tried to conceal it.
But...
Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
Very well.
But Angel Star is on the prosecution side. She could have been lying about the water.
This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sai.
Again?
Listen, girl. What did you just say?
Huh? Me?
Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution side?
Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints.
Well, I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox? A lunchbox called evidence.
Wait, witness. Don't tell me you have something else.
Objection! The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court.
Your threats don't scare the cop up too. Look at this.
Ouch.
Oh.
A photograph?
I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt in this photo.
It's clearly wet.
Racing the last shade of doubt in the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all.
You're useless.
I saw that.
It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And seems as what your sister wanted anyways. Sorry, Mia.
Right, wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end.
Last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Your Honor, wait!
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my burks in peace anymore?
No!
Can it wait? I'm hungry.
No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph! The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we get each piece of evidence proper consideration.
So, right. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence?
Yeah. Think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong. Got to go ahead with this.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright.
Clean shoe now.
The shoe's not blue. Oh, it actually is on the other side. Never mind. Yeah.
What was I doing in there?
The problem with this photograph is here. Oh well?
What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Wait just a moment, Ashworth.
Your Honor?
You just said muffler.
Racist.
However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph.
A muffler is also a part on a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system. A pipe.
I see. And I see. What's that suspicious cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sorry, Miss Star, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony.
What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth and muffler is related to this case.
The phone call.
Miss Star, recall your testimony for the court.
Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Arr. Yeah.
She turned into a pirate. Muffler you heard mentioned. Was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means that this piece of cloth is vital evidence.
Oh. Whoa. What is she doing?
She's breaking down.
Ah yes, change of heart.
Well, it seems we'll have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspended?
Ah yes, stuck.
I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If you leave any question unanswered here, you do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once. Bring me back law. Birch will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed.
Suppose so.
That was close. But we made it. At least for now.
Court will adjourn for 30 minutes. It's lunchtime after all.
Yay!
We eat during the... Never mind.
He's still.
I think this is. Oh, is this a mishap?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's
still hungry?
Judge talking about himself in third person,
Oh yeah.
questioning his own hunger.
Judge is still
Even
hungry?
the judge is suspicious of the judge.
I think we're gonna
We're
start
out of
the
time.
today. It's 10:40.
Good idea. I have recording to do.
Yes.
An hour.
Okay.
Start a little bit late. And I'll send you to sleep soon.
Someday.
I will see you guys. I had fun. I'll have to do my recording for Unity now. So I will be going.
We leave in you.
Alright. See ya.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Oh.
Have any of you guys used any like online photo storage?
No.
Google Photos?
So I use Google Photos until now, but their policy is changing. They aren't free anymore, so I don't want to use it anymore.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
No
don't
way.
think OneDrive's free
They-
either, so...
it's not. they announced that starting in July next year, I think, Google Photos is going to share your storage space with Google Drive. So you'll be limited to 15 gigabytes between Drive and Photos.
Wow. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck Google.
Yeah. So I don't want to use it anymore. So
That's
Disgusting.
Yeah, my option doesn't help. Because
Google
my
Photos
option, I get it through my brother.
My family just uses this big USB drive that's from Costco. It's like one or more gigabytes.
Well, time to use USBs again.
Yeah. Or yeah, this USB drive.
We have reverted back to the USB era now. Apparently.
I don't mind it. No more auto tagging of my face.
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. More privacy.
It's funny how it all comes around.
Yep,
We start with
force
low-tech
people.
stuff, and then we move to high-tech stuff because we can. And then people figure out how to commercialize high-tech stuff, we just go back to low-tech stuff.
Oh, Charles, they at least want to say this line. What I save.
Oh, yeah. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2.
Alright, let's see.
Now, looking at, like, Photo Bucket, that you gotta pay for that one. I could also use, like, I think Amazon Prime comes with a photo service, but...
I don't want to contribute to Amazon anymore. Down with
Amazon is questionable.
Down with Amazon.
Thank God, just store everything locally, I guess.
What were they thinking?
Money, that's what they were thinking.
Google Photos was so good too.
It was. And then they just decided that they didn't want to make good things anymore.